Greetings, everyone. Today is February 7th, 2022. It's a little past 7. I'm a little bit late, but that's okay because you're here, I'm here. That's all that matters. So tonight is episode 13 of the Crcle of Wyllys podcast for freedom. And we are on 3 channels. We're on YouTube, we are on Facebook, and we are on Twitch. And if you would like to be included in the live stream, then you can send me an email to podcastforfreedom.com. Oh, I'm sorry. Podcast, that isn't right. podcastforfreedom@protonmail.com. And then I will add you to the list of people who listen for the live stream. And you can ask questions, you can chat, you can do all that stuff. And tonight we have a very special show. As you can see by the flyer right there, I'm running for governor of Michigan. With USTPM, U.S. Taxpayers Party of Michigan. I'm already on the ballot. And I am going to go head-to-head with Whitmer of Michigan. And I look forward very much, Miss Whitmer, to debating you on truth, not bull. And we will see how that turns out. But I have name recognition with my U.S. Senate Michigan 2020 race, and I got quite a few votes there, although there were some stolen as well. But this time, if you are dissatisfied with Whitmer and you are not going to go that way again, it's really what it is really about. It's about people, not about politics. If you like the person, if you think they'll do a good job, then you should vote for them no matter what. I don't care about parties. There's an old joke. Well, there's a joke I used to tell on the campaign trail. What's the difference between a Republican and a Democrat? Same team, different uniforms. They're opposite sides of a coin. And they pretend there's only 2 of them. So they focus all your attention on their 2 parties and you don't look anywhere else, which is a downright shame because the U.S. Taxpayers Party, they stand for your historic Bill of Rights that started when our country started, and for life, for religious liberty, for freedom to choose. And shortly, too, I'll have part of my podcast. I will tell you how you can join the USTPM party in your county. So we will also talk about that. Well, this week in the news, I was forced to listen to a tirade by Bernie Sanders in the U.S. Senate. And I was very disgusted with his rhetoric and his lies. And the biggest thing that he said this week that I totally disagree with and got upset with was the fact that he said Trump lied about the stolen votes of the 2020 election. Well, I have something to say to you, Senator Sanders. This is future Governor Wyllys of Michigan, and I am telling you, sir, that I have 306 pages of evidence and proof that show votes were stolen. I have a very early morning paper that came out. It was one of the first ones there, and I made a copy of it as well. And I'll be sharing it in the future here shortly with the next broadcast. That said Trump won Michigan. So you, sir, are out of line. You, sir, are the liar. And soon there will be more action on this front to audit the Michigan 2020 vote. So we shall challenge Mr. Sanders' wrong assertion that there was no vote stealing when there was. Okay, also in the news this week are Irish fishermen. Now I had a video I'm going to show you Irish fishermen block the Russian Navy war games. That's a video we're going to be going over. It's just a couple-minute video, but it shows what people can do when they band together and start making countries listen to them. Then we have, of course, this will be a shorter, somewhat of a shorter video than normal. Normally I go for an hour, and maybe we might get to an hour, but we might not. But we're going to talk, 3/4 of this podcast will be about the Canadian truckers and the Freedom Convoy, because I was just so enthralled, excited, and happy. Now, as you can see in my background, I got flags. That's the Sons of Liberty flag, okay, the red and white stripes. I consider that the first flag of our country, with no 5 stars, 5-pointed satanic star on it. And it was from We the People. That was a grassroots flag. That was the very first flag of the Sons of Liberty. And then, of course, I have it's known as the Southern flag, but it's also known as a religious flag historically, because it comes from way in the past, when the stars on the flag stand for the tribes of God's 12 tribes. And then the star in the middle stands for Jesus Christ. So this is could be considered a religious flag. Some people consider it the Southern flag. And I apologize to the Canadian convoy and the Canadian truckers. I don't have a Canadian flag, but I'm getting one. I apologize that I don't have it in the background. I wish I had one for tonight's show. But what we're going to do, we're going to get started on the Canadian truckers. And this is the podcastforfreedom.com. Now, the site's down right now for maintenance, and I'm putting some new videos up and some new bells and whistles, so that'll get back up in a day or two. But write podcastforfreedom.com down. Make sure you stand with me as I go around the state. I'm setting up meet and greet, and I'm looking for places to meet in Michigan. I have one in Wayne County coming up pretty shortly, and I'll be in Hillsdale about mid-March. But I am looking to hit all 83 counties, and I'm looking for places to speak. So if you or your group would like to invite me, all you have to do is shoot me an email or call me at 989-448-9580, 989-448-9580, and just let me know what your group does, where they're located at, and if you have a building to meet in, and we'll see what we can do. And then we have a Rumble channel, podcastforfreedom.com, and then we also have a Patreon channel, and Patreon is Podcast for Freedom as well. So Patreon is a subscription service. You can go there, and we only have one fee. And if you're not willing to give up a couple cups of coffee or 2 or 3 beers to get some knowledge on how our rights have been stolen and how our government is not supporting our sovereignty, well, I just don't know what to say to you. So give up a couple cups of coffee, give up a couple beers, and start getting some knowledge laid on you that will help you every day in your life, and help you solve things and become a happier person. So with that, what I'm going to do is we will jump into the, let's see, I'm going to share screen here. Just give me a couple minutes. Yep, there it goes. And then, okay, we're going to go to Chrome tab. All right, hang on one second. Let's do the Irish fishermen first. Let's see if I can find that one. There we go. Share. Okay. This I loved because the Irish fishermen. What are you doing, Olivia? I'm cleaning the doctor. Okay, we got ads.
In response to appeals from Irish fishermen and the Irish government, the Russian military, which had announced naval drills off the coast of Ireland, will move them further away after Irish fishermen, vowed to disrupt them. CNN's Donny O'Sullivan joins us now live near Cork, Ireland. So, Donny, how did all this unfold?
Yeah, really a David and Goliath story here, Fred. We had heard all week from these fishermen who were essentially standing up to the Russian government about 150 miles from here off the coast of southwest Ireland here. Was where these Russian exercises were due to take place in waters that are very, very important to the fishermen, the livelihoods of fishermen in this part of the country. And those fishermen wanted to continue fishing during these exercises, which of course would have been quite dangerous. The Russians initially had said that it would have been unwise for these fishermen to go out there. But now, obviously, a change in tune tonight. The Russians agreeing to basically go further away from the Irish coast and away from these fishing waters. And I'm actually here with two of the fishermen who were involved in this story. Patrick Murphy, who is a fisherman representative body of the fishermen. You actually met with the Russian ambassador. It was you who spoke with the ambassador earlier this week. You've got a result. You must be delighted.
Oh, absolutely. Why wouldn't you be? Like, this is all we wanted. Now we can give out the information to our boats. Listen, lads, out you go, fish away, no worries, and mind the weather.
Out you go, fish away, no worries.
Be safe and everything else you do. And it's fantastic. Like, what else could you say? It's brilliant.
And just explain to us, I mean, look, this is a community that's totally reliant on fishing. Had the military drills taken place in that part of the water, I mean, what impact could that have, not just on the safety of the fishermen, but on the fish stock?
Look, seriously, there's enough families around here that have lost their loved ones to the sea, and that's enough of a danger to be facing without going out facing a military exercise. Now, at the same time, they're forced to go out there because that's their fishing, that's their job, and so they're going to be relieved. It's as simple as that. So we're delighted for this. This is a brilliant result, and we have to thank the Russians for actually acknowledging that we played a small part in this. That's good for us. That's really nice.
And Alan, we were speaking with today, Alan, we were talking earlier today about how you were planning on going out there doing your job later this week, but fishing possibly in waters quite close to the Russian military. You must feel quite relieved that now you're going out there and they won't be quite as close.
Well, I'm relieved that the fish stocks won't be damaged, because live fire will cause problems to the fish, and I hope that no other country, any other country in the future will do the same, that they'll stay outside the 200-mile EEZ and protect the natural resources of our country.
All right. So, and this, the Irish fisherman story started before the Canadian trucker story. And what is it with men around the world? Well, the Irishmen stood up against the Russian Navy. And then we have the Canadian truckers standing up against the mandates of the Canadian government. And they not only are standing up, they did something about it. They stood up and they went, and they are occupying space now in front of the Parliament building, the government offices of the Canadian government, and they are beeping their horns, and they are all in until the mandates are lifted. So what is happening? Are people waking up? Men are standing up. Men are taking their big rigs and parking them in front of government buildings, and they're peacefully assembling. There's been a little bit of here and there with whatever going on between the police and people, but nothing really big has happened up there. But now what I want to do is we're going to share some more videos, and this is let's see, which one do I want? Hang on one second. So, video number 1 is called The Fringe Minority. So, which I thought it was pretty funny. It's a 7-minute video. Let me see here. Okay, that one's gone. La la la. Hang on one second. Kind of had them in order. 1, 2, 3. We're standing. Okay. All right, where do we go?
Connect your entire business with tools from Square. Introducing.
Boy, they have all these ads, don't they? Okay, hang on one second. 1, 2. I don't want that one. Please forgive me. This story is by ET Transport, and I hope I'm picking the right one. Hang on one second. The Chrome tab thing is reshuffling my videos. Number 1, fringe minority. That's the one I'm looking for. February 1st. Okay, this is the one. February 1st.
We're in Ottawa at the Freedom Convoy 2022. Come aboard, come for a walk around, see some trucks, see some people. Right now we're at Rideau in Sussex. Don't know what we're gonna see, but let's go for a walk.
We got all 4
Thank you,
streets
truckers.
blocked. People are out there in sub-zero weather.
Don't forget our farmers as well.
Okay, that's enough of that one. That was just a short one. Two truckers demanding freedom for
The first ever AT4 lineup, or GM employee program participants with a current eligible GMC lease can get this low mileage lease on this 2022 GMC Sierra Limited Elevation for $299 per month. Yeah, listen, we fucked up. The small fringe minority of people who are on their way to Ottawa or who are holding unacceptable views that they're expressing do not represent the views of Canadians.
So, here we have the small fringe minority standing up for their basic human rights. Hundreds of truck drivers are rolling out of Canadian cities to protest the vaccine mandate put on Canadian truck drivers. Let's get the story straight. In order for a cross-border Canadian truck driver to go into the US and deliver freight, he now has to be vaccinated, fully vaccinated, before he can enter the US. Now, Canadians also put the exact same restrictions on US truck drivers. So US drivers can no longer come to Canada and deliver freight here without being vaccinated, fully vaccinated. Now, that's the story, and here is what's happening. So on January 23rd, the Convoy 2022 happened and it started in British Columbia. So guys, the Freedom Convoy 2022 is not just about truck drivers. It's not just about cross-border drivers. Okay, here you have the vaccinated, the not vaccinated, you have people with one shot, you have people with boosters, you have everybody coming together, and everyone is just fed up with all these mandates, all these restrictions, not being able to travel, not being able to go to movie theaters. It's all these restrictions that we have, and people are just fed up with it. It's been 2 years, and we just want this to go away. And the Freedom Convoy 2022, this is what it's about. It's not about the truck drivers. The truck drivers and the vaccine mandate to go across the border is just the straw that broke the camel's back. Okay, everybody is uniting, and it's not just the 10% of non-vax truck drivers. So hear me out. Over $6.5 million has been raised for this convoy through a GoFundMe.
$10 million.
$6.5 million. Now, it's all public information. You can see who are the donors, and these are just everybody and anyone out there that believes in this convoy and has had enough with these restrictions. So the convoy traveled from Vaughan, Ontario to Kingston yesterday, stopping between Port Hope and Trenton along Highway 401. Check out some footage we captured yesterday at Vaughan Mills. Hundreds of protesters lined up along the highway overpasses and spilled onto the overramp. Alright, so the next thing we need to talk about is what are their demands and what is going to make this thing go away. So let's get into some of their demands, okay? So one thing we need to understand is the Trucking Convoy 2022 is not anti-vaccinations. It is anti-government mandates, all right? Very important. Second point is that we need to understand is a lot of people that are taking part in this convoy are vaccinated. So it's not an anti-vaccination rally or convoy. This is everybody uniting together. Vaccinated, unvaccinated. What do they want? They want to stop these mandates and people to be forced into doing things that they don't want to do. I myself am vaccinated, and I really don't need to pressure somebody else to get vaccinated and not to get vaccinated. These vaccine mandates have destroyed lives, have destroyed families. I can give you a scenario myself with a few of our friends. You know, we're a group of 20-30 couples, of which 25 of them are vaccinated, and there's 5 couples in our crowd that are not vaccinated, and it's become the center of attention in our crowds. The non-vaxxed are looked down upon. The non-vaxxed cannot go on vacations with the rest of us. The non-vaxxed cannot do a lot of things. And you know what? For us, I personally really don't care if they are vaxxed or not vaxxed, and this is what this convoy is about. Enough is enough, and this needs to stop. The third thing you guys need to understand is that this is a peaceful protest, okay? It doesn't matter how they're going to spin it in the news, okay? They have absolutely no intention of causing harm, of causing problems. They just want to be heard, and they want to do a peaceful protest in Ottawa. So after reading all the news channels, after reading a lot about and talking to drivers about the Convoy 2022, at the end of the day, they only want 2 things. Number 1, enough with the mandate and forcing people to get vaccines. And number 2, nobody should be losing their jobs over not taking the jab. That's what it all stems down to. It's these 2 main issues that I think all Canadians have a problem with. Whether you're vaccinated or not vaccinated, nobody should be losing their job over this. Whether you're a truck driver, you're a nurse, you work for a factory, you work at the supermarket, nobody should be losing their job over not getting vaccinated, and that is the stem of the problem, and that's what this convoy is about. So guys, I really don't think that this is going to end in Ottawa. I think it's gaining a lot of traction, it's gaining a lot of support, and Ottawa is not where it's going to stop. Globally, we're getting a lot of support, and a lot of people are saying, way to go, Canadian truck drivers, and this is the way to do it. The Convoy 2022 even has the support of Elon Musk, who tweeted, way to go, Canadian truck drivers. Even Joe Rogan had things to say about the convoy, the Freedom Convoy 2022, on his podcast.
Your country's in revolt. Do you know about this? Well, show this video. It's a giant convoy of trucks that's apparently some insane amount of people, like 50,000 trucks, that are headed to Ottawa to protest the vaccine mandates by Trudeau.
And they're all coming from Canada. Because
They're all in Canada. They're all in Canada. It's all Canadian truckers. Because apparently they're all being mandated that they have to get vaccinated. And they're like, hey, we don't even contact anybody. We're in our truck.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
we just drive.
So guys, 56,000 truck drivers are part of this channel. We need to spread the word. We need to make people understand why this convoy is happening. So,
all right. So what is happening is, and he's right, there shouldn't be a requirement that you lose your job if you don't get vaxxed or not vaxxed. As the women said in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s now, my choice, my body. Why can't it be the same for men? Huh? Why can't it be the same for children? My body, my choice. But it is wrong to have people lose their jobs over mandates. Now remember, a mandate is not a law. It's not a law. And I'm not going to go any further, but if you look up the definition of what a mandate is and what a law is, mandates don't have to be followed. Just remember that. All right, we've got some more now. Some more. Okay, the second one is, and I like this title too, we are standing for our children and grandchildren. All right, here we go.
Where will it spill next? The Line 5 underwater oil pipeline in the Straits of Mackinac was built to last 50 years. Now it's almost 70. It's already spilled 33 times and over 1 million gallons of oil.
Wow,
it's
I didn't know
operated
that.
by Enbridge, the same company that already caused Michigan's largest oil spill. The Line 5 underwater oil pipeline is dangerous because it threatens the Great Lakes every day.
Wow, that was good.
From the beat of drums to horns, a steady blast from trucks sparked their parliament. The trucker protest reached its final destination, with anger toward reporters boiling.
You should be embarrassed to be a journalist! That convoy of trucks and thousands of protesters on foot here at Parliament Hill with one message.
No, we're looking for freedom. We're looking for freedom, that's the only thing.
Every single thing that our governments have done, it just keeps on getting worse. Against lockdowns and mandatory vaccinations in workplaces.
I cannot tolerate to see any longer because we're not living like we should be.
Against government-opposed lockdowns and mandatory COVID-19 vaccinations in workplaces.
These adverse reactions are not as rare as the media would like to have us believe.
They don't seem to be working, they're failing, they're ineffective.
Most downtown Ottawa businesses remain closed for the protest. Police warned about the risk of violence.
I think it's horrible. I think what they stand for is wrong, not backed by science, and shouldn't be in our city.
This man, one of a few counter-protesters supporting vaccines, shown in recent data by Canada's top doctors to be overwhelmingly safe and prevent COVID-related death.
I mean, I got my jacket ripped. I've been called racial and homophobic slurs all day.
Most of the crowd were upbeat.
Everybody needs a hug.
There was a pop-up arm wrestling match, yet some were wrapped in Donald Trump flags supporting the former U.S. president.
I want to see Trump back in 2024. Woo! Of course. He's the best.
But mostly,
we are standing for our children and for our grandchildren.
It is wrong to have masks because children can breathe God-given fresh air.
And they say they're not a fringe minority, claiming more Canadians share their view than people think.
You gotta tell the people the truth!
Sean O'Shea, Global News, Ottawa.
All right, very good. That's a great one. So, and you also saw a mixture of many cultures of people, not just from Canada, but from well, right now all over Canada, but there are also other people coming in from other countries, as you'll see shortly. We've got another one I'm going to show is I think it's the next one. Yeah, Dutch truckers join the convoy. So we've got Dutch truckers coming in. Hang on one second. There we go. Come the Dutchman. That was great. And one of the biggest reasons why I wanted to do this podcast tonight was because this is history being made right now that we've got to record and remember. All right, what's next? What's the next? Large crowds gather in Hamilton and Niagara. All right, here we go next. Large crowds gather in Hamilton and Niagara.
Tonight with a slowdown on our highways today as a truck convoy traveling to Ottawa made its way through our area while security forces on Parliament Hill said they're preparing for up to 10,000 protesters this weekend. We estimate around 2,000 people were seen when the convoy traveled through Niagara and Hamilton.
The protest began as a pushback against vaccination mandates for truck drivers, but now appears to have expanded into other areas. Kelly Botello reports.
A convoy of truckers arrived in Hamilton this morning to crowds of supporters lining Centennial Parkway and neighboring streets. Organizers have called it the Freedom Convoy.
I'm here to support freedom and the freedom to choose.
Because I believe we have to protect our rights as citizens. This isn't about a vaccine or no vaccine. It's about what we're able to do every day.
Yep.
The movement started out as a way to protest Canada's new rule that unvaccinated truckers can't cross the border without quarantining. The supporters here today say truckers have been doing essential work this entire pandemic and shouldn't be penalized now.
That's very true.
The vaccine.
These guys are sitting in their
They
trucks
keep changing the
bringing
end
food.
the goalposts.
They've been doing it the whole time, and they're trying to stop them now, or at least stop a small percentage of them.
The government says nearly 90% of Canadian truckers are already vaccinated, but supporters here today say this movement has grown into something more.
I feel like at the start of the pandemic, the government shut down and said the vaccines were our way out of here. We're over 80% vaccinated in this province. I think over 90. You know, we're gonna have to get boosters.
It's our body, our choice.
It shouldn't be forced upon anyone, right? It's not an all or nothing package deal.
With all these mandates to work, we can't go freely to shop, to eat. It's ridiculous.
Before stopping in Hamilton, the convoy made its way through Fort Erie, where a smaller crowd of supporters cheered them on. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has called the truck convoy that's making its way to Ottawa a small fringe minority of people who hold unacceptable views. The Canadian Trucking Alliance also releasing a statement against these protests.
Creating the divide between two different types of people when we've always been together as one, and now it's just complete separation, and it's devastating.
The truck demonstration in Ottawa is planned for Saturday. Kelly Botello, CHCH News.
Okay, that was a really good one. And they're right. We've always been together. And they're trying to tear us apart and put us into different camps and pit us one against the other. And that's not how we feel. So it's not going to work. All right. What's the next one? Now we've got Alberta, Canada, and Montana border. See, now this started February 1st, and it has been growing by the border crossing and by the state. So more and more states are joining this. And this is where Montana and Alberta, that crossing, have to keep one lane open for the people going by and for emergency services. So they do that, but they block the other 2 lanes. I like the F Maple Leaf CK Trudeau. So that's the Montana-Alberta border. This is history in the making. Yeah, this is February 1st too. This all happened February 1st. These are all short videos. Okay. Now the next video. So we've got the Michigan-Canada border. We've got the Montana-Alberta border. And then now we've got truckers started this, and then the Canadian farmers joined next. Now watch this. Watch this. I don't know what this is.
Love the sexy new siding, Sue. Thanks, Sin.
Okay, so they had them blocked. They had the road blocked. And they got through. Holy shit.
There they go! Woo! Go, truckers, go!
And then the farmers got into it. Both sides going the wrong way.
And the goose!
Can't stop a bunch of patriots.
Oh, you hear him now? The cops.
Farmers are now into it. Canadian farmers and Canadian truckers. We'll show it again.
Holy shit. There they go! Woo! Go, truckers, go!
And farmers. Both sides.
And the goose!
Can't stop a farmer.
You hear him now? The cops. There they go.
Okay, so truckers got their trucks and they have to stay on the roads. Okay. Farmers can go anywhere. And I don't know if the policeman figured that out, that a blockade wasn't going to stop a tractor. So that was, to me, was quite hilarious. And more are going to join the convoy. All right, now we've got Kudus. Now this is all February 1st, my friends. All this happened on February 1st. Everybody was going to Ottawa. And now we got Coots border blocking. Could be the first test of the UCP law. So this is an important one as to what happened.
Tuesday afternoon, RC.
Okay, hang on a second. I gotta restart it because it didn't share it. Coots border blockade. Here we go.
Tuesday afternoon, RCMP warning those blocking the highway at the Coots border crossing. If they don't leave, they could be arrested, charged, ticketed, and fined. Some of the first to test Alberta's Critical Infrastructure Defence Act.
And we have now received reports of RCMP officers being swarmed and an effort to ram officers trying to enforce a barricade.
But some wondering, if we have some of the strictest fines in the country, why it took 4 days for them to be enforced.
Because, you know, for any layperson can look at the act and you don't need a legal background to see it being violated, you know, quite clearly.
With all due respect, I think there is an inexplicable law enforcement paralysis when it comes to right-wing groups.
You'll remember in February 2020, within a week of protests for Indigenous land rights that blocked rail lines across the country, Alberta introduced new fines for everyday things like highways, pipelines, and rail lines are blocked.
And even a law that says this protest must end has to be enforceable on the ground. And police that are charged with removing protesters from delicate infrastructure, be it a bridge or a roadway or a border, can often make matters worse before they make matters better, simply by moving in and arresting everybody.
This law professor expects police have been trying to de-escalate the situation since Saturday.
What happens when twice as many people show up the next day? What happens when that just leads to a further shutdown the following week?
But criminologists monitoring the handling of the Coots protest can't help but compare it to how police handled protests like the rail blockades across Canada.
It does matter who is protesting and what they are protesting about. The positionality of the protesters and the body politic. There's no diplomatic way to put that.
So I think, you know, again, when you introduce a law like the Critical Infrastructure Defence Act, it is to help ensure that you're balancing that right for protest, but also navigating, you know, free flow of goods.
Because Bill 1 is a new law, never tested in court. If it's used, it could see a constitutional challenge of the fines starting at $10,000 and potential for jail time. In Edmonton, Carly Robinson, City News.
Okay, now that video, very, very important video, and I'm going to break it down a little bit, because what they're saying is people have a right to peaceably assemble the way the government wants us to protest, not the way we want to protest. Well, we pay for all the infrastructure. Our tax dollars pay for everything that the government is using, stating that it's theirs, but it does not belong to them. It belongs to the people. So if we want to go stand in front of the sidewalk, in front of the Parliament building, that's our sidewalk. If we want to park in the road that we built with our tax dollars, we can park in the road. Until we have a redress of grievances by our public servants, which is our right, First Amendment and the Bill of Rights, the right to peaceably assemble and to address grievances to our government servants. But when our government servants are not listening, we will stand resolutely longer until our grievances are addressed. And that is exactly what the truckers, the farmers, the fishermen, and everyone are doing. They're saying, wait a minute, we, the people, give up a tiny piece of our power to you to run our government for us, our corporate government. And when we have a problem with what you are doing, we have the right to grieve you, which means you have to listen to us and you have to address our concerns. You cannot ignore us. And that's what the Canadian Parliament is doing. They're discussing it in their chambers, but they're not really doing anything about it. Okay, because there's too much money attached to this thing that, you know, the thing that you can't say in videos anymore, or you get banned, which is bull, maple leaf flag, LLSHIT. So, but anyway, this is the crux of the matter. This is history in the making. More people need to go to Ottawa. They're planning more places to go. I'm trying to. Okay, so I've got a Freedom Truckers convoy for the last one. And now I have an update on GoFundMe too. I call them Go F Me now. They received over $10 million for the truckers in support for trucks. Now they're refusing to give it to them. And what they're doing, they were going to take away the $10 million from the truckers and give it to a charity of their choice. Okay, they don't have the right to do any of that. It's not their money. Then they were going to refund it to the people who donated to the truckers. Okay, now there's a new fundraising website. I will announce this next time because I'm also going to use it for my Wyllys for Governor campaign as a fundraising platform. But also too, on this new platform, there's a place that you can donate to the truckers, and I'll disclose that next Monday because I've got more videos I'm going to show on the truckers next week. This whole situation is developing as it goes. I just showed you the videos from day 1, which was February 1st. Now we are at day 11, I believe. Day 7 should be, because it started on the 1st and it's only the 7th of February. So now I will leave you with the Freedom Truckers Convoy live. I'm just going to play it for a while. And I will see you next Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Again, if you would like to be on the live stream, please send me an email to podcastforfreedom@protonmail.com. PROTONMAIL.com. Podcast for FOR freedom at protonmail.com. So God bless you. Stand up for your rights. Be peaceably resolute and unmoving with what you want. Make people listen to you in a calm, non-threatening, peaceful manner, and you will get more done than you ever thought you could. God bless you. Freedom Truckers, rock on. Wyllys for Governor of Michigan, rock on. And we'll see you next week. Thank you.
Freedom Convoy 2022, Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. Out in front of Parliament Hill. Come on board. Come for a walk. Come see some trucks. Come see the action. I fixed my glitchiness that I was having and pixelation issues I was having. Looked like it was a data issue, so I went and bought a 15 gigs of data, so hopefully that helps. Yeah. Freedom Truckers Convoy 2022 Ottawa. I hope everyone's doing well. Go for a walk. Hopefully my screen quality is good this time. You can hear me loud and clear. I will hear the horns loud and clear. Hope everybody's doing well. Missouri, all American friends down south, Ireland, everybody from around the world. Right. About minus 13 out. I got my gloves on. It's kind of cold. Hopefully that doesn't mess up things too much. It's gonna get really cold tonight, folks. Minus 20 something. And probably closer to minus 30 with the wind. Bundle up. Get those woolies on.
Those are tough people.
Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Give a trucker a hug. Before we go into the noise, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching. We have millions and millions of views on this channel, folks. How incredible is that? Let's get millions more. Let's just show the MSM the truth and show what's really happening here. How peaceful it is. How wonderful the people are. Amazing. Let's go. Let's go into the mess here. Let's do it. Lots of people here. The fringe is real.
History in the making.
Yeah, guys, make sure you smash the like button. Let's kill the YouTube algorithm. The more times you smash the like button, the more the algorithm's going to pump this video out.